Hey folks, this is Ben Yessel. How's it going? Um, Quick video here. Very tired. I'm gonna get some sleep tonight. It's been hard to get regular sleep, at least every single day recently at the same time, but trying to do better there. Um, yeah, so this video is just basically mainly addressed to anyone who is inclined to believe that um, bubblegum pop is superior music to many other types of music, such as classical music and jazz and so forth. You know what I'm talking about. No, I am fairly neutral on old country. At least I think it's very good music for the soul. Although it's not especially complex, I think there's this term that everyone's using these days on YouTube called wholesome. And if there's anything that it is indeed wholesome, it would be basically old country music, not new country, old country. Anyway, but that's what's uplifting for the soul. That's what's good for the soul, I guess you could say. Not only country music, but also folk as well. Country music and folk. And rock is a different arena altogether. Soft rock, you guys know I like. Some of you guys, hard rock, some of it I like. Some of it's more technical and still more respectable that way. And some of it's a little darker and more rough. Uh, yeah. Bubblegum pop, though, it isn't what classical music or jazz is, or film music. It's not on the same level. So there are a lot of people, there always have been this way, but this kind of thing. But I feel like because this is my career, this is a, composition, performance, all that stuff. I feel like I need to mention this because, as even with regard to soft rock and ballads of the 80s and 90s and things, pop ballads, there's very clear, distinct difference in the quality of those songs. Those songs compared to the songs since American Idol times, more or less. And it's just because it's just crap. I keep hearing these newer songs, and none of them are even worth anything. They're worth jack crap. They're not even worthy of the worst song by Spin Doctors or Cranberries or Meatloaf or you pick the group. You pick the group from before 2000 and mid 2000s or whatever. I don't know. They're all just crap. Every single one of them. And I feel like I'm a broken record when I keep saying this stuff. It's not worth my time. It's not worth anybody else's time. And I'll even go so far as to say this much. Justin Bieber, amongst the bubblegum pop group, his stuff is increasingly actually like, oh, maybe this isn't so bad. Maybe Bieber's a decent songwriter, compared to at least this crap. Maybe it's just that I like Justin with time more. Maybe he's turning into a decent guy. I don't know. He was always a decent guy. He was just kind of a little bit of an idiot. Anyway, um, yeah, I just want people to know what good music is. That's what I try to do when I'm teaching lessons. Is amongst many other things, I'm like, this is good quality music. What's good quality music? Well, there's a lot of things that go into it, but one of the most basic things that makes a good piece is if it has a melody that you can remember. If you remember the melody, you can sing it at any point in your life, and it does something to you deeply, profoundly, or it really sticks with you, and it's a force for good in your life, or a force of enlightenment or whatever. It helps you develop as a person. That's worthwhile music. That's good music. That's high quality music. It doesn't have to have sophisticated harmonies, but if it often has more sophisticated harmonies or harmonies that are specifically put where they're at for specific purposes, and there's a high degree of intellect behind those harmonies, that's also extremely respectable, and that goes also into what makes high quality music, as well as a sophisticated meter. Just if it's interesting music, if it's beefy, if you can sink your teeth into it. Bubblegum, if you chew bubblegum, does nothing for you. It's just sugar. That's why it's called bubblegum music. It's sweet, and it has no nutrients. It does nothing for you. That's bubblegum music. That's bubblegum pop, right there. There's other music that does stuff for you. You don't always know what it does for you, but it does stuff for you. It helps you become more intelligent. Some music helps you become more intelligent. Some music helps you become, I don't know, develop more as a person. Think of the person who's just their whole life is bubblegum pop. All the musical interests revolve around bubblegum pop. How mature is that person? Not very mature. Now think of other people, like other kinds of music. One's musical tastes are associated with how mature they are oftentimes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Now, if somebody just absolutely loves bubblegum pop, they just love it to death. I'm not saying they're immature, but there's a good chance that they are less mature. Good chance. It's different with 80s, 90s, and 70s, and 60s ballads and pop music. It's different because that's real music. Now, it's not classical music, it's not jazz. But these are real songs by real songwriters that know what the devil they're doing. That, actually know a thing or two about composition. They understand harmony. All that stuff. Instrumentation. They can write mixed meter stuff. Sergio Mendes is an amazing, amazing musician. A lot of people don't know who he is. A lot of people don't. Tom Jobim and all this stuff. That's just Brazil for you. Man. That's just, there's a few other guys, whatever your tastes in music are, please just understand. This is what I'm trying to say in this video. Please understand. Some of us go to college, study this for years, and develop skills that honestly make all these pop stars complete amateurs in comparison. And hardly anybody knows who we are. Just let that sink in for a bit. And many of the people I'm talking about are your average high school band director. Your average high school band director is 10 times the musician that a lot of these supposed pop stars are. Just, no joke. I went to college with them at BYU and Central Washington, and also do some at Tacoma Community College. Whether I was getting my associate's degree, or whether I was at BYU or Central Washington, I've known a heck of a lot of music educators. A heck of a lot. And I've known composers, and I've known very strong performers. And every last one of those guys, every last one of them, is hundreds of times better than any supposed pretty-faced American Idol. Probably thousands of times better. So I hear these tarts on YouTube, and they're going on about bubblegum pop. What can you do? Just like... So, why don't you just go listen to some Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears, crying out loud? My youngest brother loved NSYNC and Backstreet Boys back in the, 90s and 2000s and stuff. I don't know. Why don't you go listen to some of that crap? And then compare that stuff with the most recent stuff. maybe. It's all kind of the same stuff, even though you probably find that Justin Timberlake is even better than that crap. That's what passes for music these days. And this coming from somebody who is, I'm not really particularly fond of Justin Timberlake. Really, to be honest, Justin Timberlake actually is. You can say what you want about his character. He knows what the devil he's doing musically. He has some real skills, in my opinion. And I would be civil to the man. I would. Sure, why not? So I have some level of respect for Timberlake. I have no respect for all these supposed pop stars. I don't want to get into names. You can pretty much know who I'm talking about. It's incontestable, man. So what I'm assuming is the case not only with myself, but all the other educators out there that I've known, and so many others I have never met. We're all trying to help kids, teenagers understand what good music is. What it really is. That's a part of education. Why is that so important? There's a lot of reasons why. You might think, oh, this is kind of a moral thing I'm talking about. Well, you can get into that dimension, I suppose, if you want, but it's kind of like this. You might think that Starbursts are the best food in the world, right? Tastiest, sweetest food. So good, right? You think, oh, maybe they have some vitamin C. Some like high chews do, you know. And then you have some raspberries and blackberries and blueberries and cherries. A really good fruit. Mix of fruit, like not a canned fruit cocktail, not canned fruit cocktail, but fresh fruit in a bowl. And you really start to taste the subtleties of each type of fruit. And you notice a little bit more what's happening when you eat certain kinds of foods, and the nutrients that goes into your body, and the overall feeling it has, the smells, the aromas, the flavors. And maybe it's at that point that you can notice and really love other kinds of foods even more as well that aren't as sweet, or just different kinds of flavors and things. But that involves all that. The whole process involves what? It's not just an immediate thing. As little kids, we love candy. So our parents are like, no, just a little bit of it, not very much. It's the same deal with music. So for a lot of people it is. For some people not so much, but for a lot of folks, a lot of people in this world, it's like, no, this pop stuff doesn't do anything for you. What it is that you love is you like that your friends like it, and you can tap your foot to it, and you can dance to it or whatever, and it's like a pretty face or a glitzy new thing, and you just like the way you feel when you hear it, because it just makes you want to dance or something like that. That's not good. That's not high quality music. That's really, really, really flippin' easy to write, compose. It's so easy that it's a complete joke. It's a bad joke. And you think these pop stars are great musicians. They're not. They're not. Frankly, they suck. They might have passable singing ability, some of them, maybe. I know the pop stars that are bubblegum pop guys that are a little bit stronger. I know. I understand that Katy Perry's one of them that has some actual musical skill. I'm not saying though that she's still on the level of my peers that studied music very, very hard, by the way. Very hard. But she's probably a little closer to that ballpark than some. But it's also true I don't really respect Katy Perry as much personally, but let's just be honest, there's a lot of things I'd rather not know anyway. All right. You guys, leave me thoughts and comments below. Catch you later. Take care. Bye.